Aloha and welcome back to Live at the Legislature for our Senate segment. I'm your Senate Communications Director, Jesse Broder Van Dyke, and my guest this week is Senator Drew Kanuha, who's representing Ka'u on the Big Island.
Aloha, Jesse.
Thanks for being here. And this week we're doing our elbow bump because we're getting ready for the coronavirus, the COVID-19. A couple weeks ago, the Senate passed over $10 million in funding for emergency response. What else is the Senate doing to prepare and make contingency plans?
Well, definitely making contingency plans. We always advocate to everybody, our constituency, that it's important to visit the website, Department of Health website. They have all the up-to-date information that you need to prepare for the virus that's obviously hitting the entire world. So visit the website, find the up-to-date information. I did want to say that in the Senate, at least, thanking Senator Donna Mercado Kim for providing us with hand sanitizer, doing the simple things as making sure you just wash your hands. So that's some of the small things that we can prepare to do. And obviously, we're going to be looking at more funds in the future on the preparation for this deadly virus. But visit the Department of Health website, and you can get that information as fast as possible.
So for the meantime, we're preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best.
Yes.
And doing what we can to prevent the spread as much as possible.
Yes.
Back in your home district of Kona and Ka'u, I know the heat in classrooms has been a major issue. How have you been dealing with that?
I did propose legislation this year and asking for capital improvements for the schools, for the district, actually for the whole island. But I definitely want to figure out first if I can get funding to cool our schools. I know the legislature in the past has provided a lot of money for that type of project, but it only went so far. And definitely looking forward this year for my ask, as temperatures aren't getting cooler, global warming is happening, and kids are getting hotter, and definitely want to make sure that they're comfortable while in the classrooms, and so they can have a cool learning environment.
Yeah, the west side of Hawaii Island must be one of the hottest places in the whole state.
It's pretty hot. I growing up in that community, I didn't think about it, but now I think about it. You definitely want to make sure that the kids are comfortable. And
we know it's only going to get hotter over time, unfortunately.
Yep.
You were telling me you have a charter school in your district that's gotten a lot of increase in enrollment, in part because of the Native Hawaiian cultural renaissance that's been inspired by Mauna Kea and so many other things going on. How has that affected that school?
It's affected it tremendously. I think they even had to cut out, so the school you're talking about is Ehunui Kaimalino, which is right below Konawaina High School in South Kona. It's a great thing to happen that a lot of the families on the island, or at least on the west side, want their kids to learn Hawaiian. And Ehunui Kaimalino is a great school, a great charter school to go to for them to learn, Hawaiian language. I didn't have the opportunity growing up to go to a charter school or learn Hawaiian. My father never spoke Hawaiian. My grandfather spoke Hawaiian, but they didn't speak it to my father because it was not something that, they were brought up not teaching language to their kids. And that's how I grew up too. So it's a great opportunity for the families to take their kids to learn Hawaiian. But this school has seen enrollment increase in the past year, and they had to cut out one of the grades because of it. And hopefully with this session, we can get the adjacent land purchase to build more classrooms. And hopefully the school doesn't send the families away, and the kids can learn Hawaiian language at the school. So it's a good opportunity for us this year to try to purchase the land to increase the enrollment at Ehunui Kaimalino.
It really is amazing the renaissance that's happening. I used to work for Senator Akaka, and he told me that his parents both spoke Native Hawaiian, and that they told him not to speak it. It wasn't allowed. Yep. He was forced to speak English, and then his children have learned Hawaiian, and now they're part of this renaissance that's happening now.
Absolutely. I think it's great.
And what does it mean to you to be a Native Hawaiian in the Hawaii State Senate?
Oh, it's awesome. When I first got elected to the council on Hawaii Island, I was the only Hawaiian on the council. And continuing on, when I became chair, we had our mayor, Billy Kinoi. He was a Hawaiian mayor. I was a council chair as a Native Hawaiian, and it was awesome to see, to work with him and do a lot of good things for Hawaii Island. And to come to the legislature, I'm one of several in the Senate. There's several in the House, and it's a great opportunity to advocate for Hawaiian values, a lot of the stuff that our community, we always try to get the Hawaiian community out to vote, be part of the process, continue the conversation of how we move forward as a Hawaiian community, as a lahui. But it's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, on opening day, it was really inspiring to see the number of Native Hawaiian children who are here and who are now inspired to be part of the political process and want to make a difference.
Absolutely.
And speaking of children, you're one of the youngest senators. How old are you?
I'm 35. Okay. In a month, I'll be 36.
All right. And so how does it make your experience different to be the youngest member?
Yeah, I try to tell everybody I'm not the baby of the Senate, but I'm here to learn and listen and take advice. But I always advocate for younger generation to stand up, to move up, and advocate for what you feel is right. It's really important, and I'm glad to see all across the state our younger generation. I don't know what generation you want to call it, millennial or X or whatever.
Yeah, I have
no idea. But I think it's good that our younger generation moves up and speaks for themselves.
And your colleagues picked you to be the caucus leader. What do you do in that role?
Yeah, great question. That was the question I asked when I first became caucus leader. Was what is a caucus leader? It's a role. I'm part of leadership, and great to have support of my colleagues. Great to have support of our Senate President Ron Kochi, in being part of this position. It's a role that I had to learn. It's something that when we're in caucus meaning the senators get together, majority caucus gets together, and we talk about what's going to be happening on the floor of the Senate. So a lot of times, we want to make sure that things that any senators have issues about, we get them out in caucus. It's behind closed doors. There's no votes taken. We're not allowed to do any of that. It's just something that we can be frank to each other before coming out on the Senate floor.
And if you can't come to an agreement, then you bring the debate to the floor.
Then you bring the debate on the floor. And we just want to make sure that everybody is okay.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us this week. Instead of shaking your hand, I've got some more hand sanitizer for you. And thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week at Live in the Legislature.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the legislature on Alelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.